teams from all over the world flown in, $280,000 in total prize money, live broadcasting to over 150 nations. But does that really make the World Airsoft Games a world-class event? And should your team attend next year? Before we answer any of those questions, first, let's talk about who is even putting this event together. The UAE Airsoft Federation is a newly formed organization started and funded by the Ministry of Sports, which is a branch of the Ministry of the Interior, basically making this a government-sponsored endeavor. And with government sponsorship comes government money. It is estimated that approximately $35 million was spent on creating this event. This includes, but is not limited to, flights, hotels, food, renting a movie backlot, construction of an indoor arena, and prize money. Sponsorship didn't just come from airsoft companies either. Major sponsors included DO, one of two main telecommunication operators in the UAE, and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, or ADIB. ADIB is the leading Sharia-compliant financial institution in the UAE. And now you're probably wondering, what the heck is Sharia-compliant banking? Principles of Sharia compliance include non-speculative transactions such as day trading, cryptocurrencies, and other high-risk financial activities aimed at generating short-term profits. Another principle is not charging interest. Interest, or riba, is forbidden in Sharia. Instead, they use a method called profit rate for financing. This is like interest, but its key distinction is the way the transaction is structured and justified. Other key sponsors include evike.com and Navrich. The venue was a movie backlot called 2454 in Abu Dhabi. Parts of Dune Part 2, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and Star Wars The Force Awakens were filmed here. The destroyed city sets made the perfect setting for the tactical category of the competition. For Speedsoft, a large indoor arena was constructed inside a soundstage. The arena had elevated seating for spectators, which were protected by plexiglass for unobstructed viewing. On the field level was a player area with tables to prep gear and 2 airfill stations for HPA tanks. While these settings sound amazing, you're now probably wondering, how do you get airsoft guns into the UAE if you're not a UAE citizen? Personally, I didn't bring any guns, but here's 2 players from the US that did.
My name is Micah. I'm from Jasper, Indiana area. I play at HTK Airsoft, where I'm also on Revelation.
My name's Harrison. I'm McCoy. I'm from Indiana. I'm the captain of Revelation.
Honestly, it was not as hard as you would think it would be. We had to declare how many mags we were bringing, how many replicas we were bringing, and how many air tanks we were bringing, because you can't have compressed air. All the tanks had to be taken apart. You had to be able to look inside the bottle. And from there, you had the declared amount. You had to come with that amount. There couldn't be any more, any less. Put them in a gun case with a lock and drop them off at the airport. And that was it. We flew in, Abu Dhabi police showed us everything, went back through the checklist, made sure everything was showed up with. And then from there, we're not actually allowed to handle them ourselves. The police have to bring them from the airport to the field. And once we're at the field, we have to check in and grab them from the police, and then everything has to be sealed back up and given back to the police at the end of the day every time we come here. A little bit of a weird process, but also really not that hard at the same time.
They make it very easy. They're very attentive to everyone and make it very easy to transport guns. We weren't having to wait on anyone or anything. There's, probably 60 teams total between the tactical and the Speedsoft that are here, and they managed everybody's gear perfectly, to my knowledge.
Before I go into any more explanation about the competition, let's talk about the one thing that is on everyone's mind when they hear airsoft and competition in the same breath, and that is cheating. It's important to remember that cheating in any sport or competitive activity cannot fully be stopped. It can be greatly reduced though with a solid set of rules, proper refereeing, and technology like VAR or video assistant referee. From my perspective of the competition, to include the tactical and Speedsoft side, non-hit calling was very minimal. VAR was used extensively, and there was a lot of what I would call aggressive refereeing.
Over here, we did not experience anything bad, but I think that for competitive tournaments, having a camera system like they have here in the UAE for the World Airsoft Games is essential. We made multiple calls on other teams, nothing personal, it wasn't anything blatant, but we have that ability as the opposing team to make VAR checks and, call teams out. They did it on us. Oh, grazed a sleeve, oh, grazed a headband or something like that. Perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Over here, it was addressed very well. I've not seen anyone get too animated over anything, and I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Cameras are the #1 solution to that, though, and the broadcasting of Speedsoft. Everyone needs to lock in, play better, behave better.
Of course, huge penalties were given out to players who did cheat or not feel hits, which also helped with just player accountability. The competition was broken up into 2 categories, Speedsoft and Tactical. Speedsoft is the standard 5 vs 5 symmetrical arena where 2 teams try to eliminate one another or either swipe or pull a flag. Each flag pull or swipe was worth points. Team with the most points at the end of the match wins. Very simple and understandable format. The tactical category consists of different missions set within the 2454 movie backlot. These missions included insertion via an armored vehicle, rescuing teammates, and planting or disarming an Ares Alpha bomb. Pyrotechnics such as smoke grenades and flash grenades were also used. Normally, these are not allowed for use by civilians, but since the UAE police was highly involved in the event, they were allowed with strict control. Before stepping onto the field for a match, players were issued a set of smoke and flash grenades. After the match was over, players were inspected for unused pyro. Any unused pyro was quickly taken by staff and put back into the main supply. That's the basic format of the event, but I want to talk candidly about each format in particular. The Speedsoft is a very easy format. Either shoot everyone, hang, or swipe the flag for points and you win. The tactical category needs some refinement though. For this to be truly a world-class event, it needs a format that everyone knows and is familiar with. The objectives in the tactical category were solid, but some of the rules and scoring were unclear and caused some confusion between players. That frustration really showed on the final day when teams weren't sure about basic mechanics like whether it took 1 player or 2 to activate a rescue.
The objective of the day, get to the hostage or your teammate with 2 players, rescue, and then plant a bomb and then exfil from the site.
A lot going on in this mission. How do they activate their guy?
It's by touching the hostage and then they give him the gun.
Okay, and it's two people have to touch the
No, only one.
To be clear, I say all this not to bash the organizers, but because I want to see this grow and become more complex. There is so much potential for deeper strategy in the tactical category. Now, the lack of strategy isn't the organizer's fault. The deficiency is that there isn't a solid format to build strategy off of. The structure will eventually get there. What's important is that this event has sent Airsoft into another upward trajectory. Teams all over the world now have a global pinnacle of achievement to work towards with an actual monetary payout and cool award celebration. As for all that prize money, a big question on everyone's minds were how were they going to pay all the winning participants? The answer, cold, hard cash. This is Team Rush with their winnings. They took 3rd place in Speedsoft and 1st in Tactical. You can see that each envelope has the dollar amount inside of it and what it's for. So is this truly a world-class event? Absolutely. The scale of the production, global participation, location, and monetary support makes it not just a world-class event, but a new apex of airsoft accomplishment. To everyone thinking about competing next year, get those passports or visas ready, dial in those hop-ups, get that gear streamlined, because I believe it's going to be bigger and better. Now, the timing of this trip was made a little bit more difficult due to the Iran-US conflict.
From the beginning, when Harrison gave me the call, I kind of forgot about what was being asked of me. I immediately wanted to go. I mean, a free trip to Abu Dhabi, yeah, like without a doubt. But then after talking to my dad, it was very quickly not worth the risk. We ended up deciding the precautions and doing everything that we could do to make it worth the risk. We had already had friends out here that ensured us it was totally okay. We had literally about 2 days notice, so it was a roller coaster of emotions in 2 days. It was from absolutely not to we're absolutely doing this to a few nights before, to get personal, my girlfriend cried because she was scared.
Our girlfriends were not very positive initially. Initially, they were like, "What on earth are you guys doing?"
Which it's a very real risk that we face doing this. We're not going to pretend that the risk wasn't there, but so far it's been fine. The first night we got here, we did get the alert for the missiles that could be striking. We've heard the defense systems going off, which was a bit unnerving the first night too, but as you go on, you kind of see that it's not as big of a threat that you would think it is when you hear about it.
Along with the poor timing of the conflict, the night I arrived, there was a once-in-a-lifetime storm that hit, causing major flooding across the entire country. The next morning, I took a bus with the ref and production staff to the venue. On our ride to the venue, we witnessed the extent of the flooding. Highways turned into lakes, a car floating away, and that was just the water problem. It's also been very windy, and it has destroyed some of the facade of this building. You can see all the pieces right here that were blown off right there. Being outside was not ideal for anyone, so that day's original itinerary of the tactical finals was scrapped. Not wanting to waste a day of production though, the Speedsoft finals were played instead. After going late into the evening from a late afternoon start, the Speedsoft tournament concluded with Union from Belgium taking first place. How does it feel to win the first ever World Airsoft Games and that prize of 30K?
Incredible, you know, it was never in a tournament like that, like earning 30K. Never. It was never in my whole Airsoft career. I'm playing now 10 years Airsoft in total, 7 years professional Speedsoft, and there was never that kind of money involved in the tournament.
Right.
The highest prize we earned, like we had back in the days, we just won everything. NSL, like all the speed leagues, World Championship. We won everything, but this is like the next step forward. 30K, we never had that kind of money like in the Airsoft. Yeah. This is the step to the future, you know?
Some fanfare was also given to Bruce Hudson, the lead director of the World Airsoft Games. On the final day of the event, I rode with Joseph from Navrich. Most of the floodwaters had drained, but there was still one more obstacle we had to overcome to get to the venue. All of our GPSs are not working correctly because the government is obviously trying to mitigate drone navigation, but they're also messing with our navigation. So we're on the freeway right now. My phone thinks that we're in this field over here, and your phone just doesn't even know where we are.
It completely just, no, I'm not doing anything, sorry. So we have to go off memory. Let's see if we can get there.
This is the players' tent. This is kind of like a staging area. Players can come in here and get some food, drinks, water. Inside this tent also is a giant screen. This is a live stream of what is going on the field. So if there's Speedsoft will be broadcast. Today is all tactical. This is also what's going live to 150 other nations, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Along with the player tents, we've got VIP tents. This is the commentator booth. They do commentary for both Speedsoft and the tactical division. This is definitely something that's needed for an event at this scale. There is a lot of new people being exposed to Airsoft and probably need a lot of explanation, and that's what the commentators are offering. Inside this massive building is the Speedsoft Arena. The arena was erected in about a week. This building right here is an administrative building. This event is not only catering to airsofters, but is also catering to the UAE population in itself, mainly just exposing them to the sport or game or hobby of airsoft. So they also have this entertainment zone with lots of vendors. They've got food trucks. They've got a laser tag course over here as well, and another giant screen to watch the action on the field, along with a firing range. People who don't know what airsoft is can get some target practice in and learn how to shoot airsoft guns. Some very nice couches. It's the middle of the day right now, so it's kind of hot. A lot of people mainly come out during the evening time. They've laid out this nice AstroTurf as well for everyone, so you're just not walking on dirt. You can just so tell this is AI. Look at this guy Look at the scope on this thing. This gun is just all sorts of wacky.
Mr. Jet, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. All right, here's one of the production cameras. This is a much higher budget camera than what you would normally see at an airsoft game. This is one of the other areas that everyone's fighting over. We've got another camera right here. Oh, looks like they're getting ready to play again. I should probably move. Steadicam operator. What's up, Dex?
Hello.
Dex is the Steadicam operator for the event. Dex also covers Speedsoft.
And normal Airsoft, CQB, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Everything what is done with Airsoft.
There you go. So if you're looking for a Steadicam operator, this is your guy. This is Team Rush, doing some pre-planning. The finals for the tactical side of the event has wrapped up. Now heading over to the awards ceremony.
Hello, can you hear me? Today, we are not only closing this competition, we are opening the door to a bright future for Airsoft here in UAE. We believe the future is better, and we will continue to work hard to make every World Airsoft Games competition better than the one before. We move to a proud moment. We invite the President of the UAE Airsoft Federation, Your Highness, is here to honor our sponsors, partners, and players in recognition of their contributions to the success of this championship. Going to next, AVIC. Tactical Airsoft Rush UK, $30,000. Bruce is a danger, that's why. The alarm popped up when he came here.
After a lengthy award ceremony with Sheikh Zayed bin Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Sorry if I butchered that, here's how it should be pronounced.
His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan,
who is the person that had the idea and backing to put this whole thing on. Almost every team that was awarded some accolades was brought on stage and celebrated. Plaques and medals were also given to sponsors and referees to show their appreciation for support. That is a wrap from the World Airsoft Games in Abu Dhabi. I was not expecting to go up and get this plaque from the Sheikh. That was pretty cool. It's not every day that you get to shake hands with Emirati royalty, so pretty neat. Goodbye, World Airsoft Games. Wow, we literally get to drive off into the sunset. Sick. The rest of my trip included a visit to the Abu Dhabi SeaWorld. The enormous and stunning viewing panes are what I enjoyed most about this attraction. Just here on the set of SeaQuest DSV, the Museum of the Future in Dubai is, in my opinion, a must visit. It's filled with unique and interesting exhibits focused on technology that might exist in the future. One of the coolest exhibits was the DNA library. Not only was the whole display surreal, but it was also interactive. The day after the Museum of the Future, it was finally time to leave the UAE, but not without a little bit of tension at the airport. I had to wait till I was finally on the plane to document this. It's been an endeavor to depart the UAE. Upon arriving at DBX, police cars lined and blocked all the departure lanes. My Uber driver had to circle around twice before being able to drop me off, and it was a very hasty drop off. While trying to get breakfast, security and other airport officials ordered everyone to move down a level. While waiting to come back up, I spoke with a woman from South Africa who had been at the airport for some time this morning. She thought it was maybe a drill since they were doing all of this directing very poorly. While I was at my gate, a uniformed police officer or military official ordered everyone to vacate the area into another section of the airport. After being released or given the all clear, everyone was left to find their own way back to their original gate. And this was a huge problem because they had just crammed us all into one section, kind of like cattle, and then just like opened the gates. And it got really claustrophobic. I felt like it was on the verge of like a stampede. It was a little concerning. Along with just being simply released too, we had to go through all the security protocol stuff again, metal detector, checking bags, etc. I got stopped again for the hemostats in my first aid kit. This time the lady was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. From my prior experience in the military, this kind of feels like either an indirect fire drill or maybe there is incoming, and so they're trying to get everyone from these top levels down to the lower levels where we have a little bit more solid cover. And honestly, I'll never really know. I didn't hear any drones or see any drones. Finally on board, and we're headed back to the US. That's gonna wrap up this overview of the World Airsoft Games in the United Arab Emirates. I just wanna say thank you to Sheikh. I feel like I really need to nail this for next year. Sheikh Zayed bin Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Bruce and Kirsten Hudson, Ayman Al Hashmi, Caleb Freeland, Seiko, the rest of the production crew, the referees, and lastly, but certainly not least, the UAE Airsoft Federation. Hopefully I'll see you all next year at the World Airsoft Games, and as always, this is DesertFox, and I'll see you on the field.